Dave Scholl telling like it is. Nfc North. Little football music there. Sam Spence, the man, the myth, the legend. Dave Scholl here. Chris Carter jersey. All he does is catch touchdowns. Some of the best hands of all time. Good announcer. All around good dude. Thank God Buddy Ryan cut him from the Eagles, which Chris Carter said was the best thing that ever happened to him. Here we are, last preseason weekend here. Jets Giants tonight here in New York. Big hubbub as some of the hosts on the local radio shows feel that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't even take a snap tonight, saying the risk reward isn't worth it. I'd like to point out to those same people that they should probably never leave the house because a tree could fall on him. You have to play the guy so he has a couple of snaps in, because the theory that the first 4 weeks are like preseason is the actual dumbest theory I've ever heard. Those first 4 games count as much as any other 4 games. And like I've said to you before here, you can maybe not win the division the first couple of weeks, but you can lose it. You get off to a 1-3 start and somebody else gets the 4-0, you're buried already, and it's rough. So, plus you Jets get off to a 1-3 start because maybe they're trying to feel out and work out the kinks. They can be jumping off bridges around here, and their early schedule is brutal. So you do have to point that out. But NFC North, obviously close to my heart, 4th worst division. Reasons close to my heart, obviously, is I'm a Viking fan. So it's good to be here and be a Viking fan. It's an exciting time. Feeling like this division, according to the Caesars Palace Vegas odds, this is the division with the tightest odds of, from 1 through 4 in the division being separated by small amounts. So this probably is the biggest toss-up division out there. It's definitely a division where you could see maybe anybody sneaking up and getting the win. Maybe not the Bears, but I think the Bears could even come by and do it. If Fields has one of those heroic years, some of those games at the end of the season, he finished up great. My theory about the NFC North, obviously, is that whoever handles the NFC South the best will win. So you get 4 games versus the NFC South, and you got to take advantage of those. And so, like the Vikings in Week 1, you have the Buccaneers. You got to take advantage of beating the Bucks. I'm sure the Bucks will have some moments with, crazy man behind the center there, and they'll do some things. But at the same time, you got to take advantage of this, and you have to find a way to beat the Bucks. Now the Bucks, like I said before in the NFC South preview, they do have some talent, but you got to take advantage of these games. You got to get to 3-1 or 4-0 versus the NFC South, and I pretty much guarantee you whoever wins this division will take advantage of that, because this being the oldest bunch of rivalries in the NFL and the NFC North, that you're going to beat somebody, you're going to lose to somebody. You're not really going 6-0 here. You could, but it's very difficult to do, and it's a division rivalry set with a lot of upsets over the years. So I can't even say that at some point you couldn't go 3-3 or even 4-2, 5-1, 2-4, obviously. But it's hard. It's hard to win in these division games. But either way, as we're checking it out here, we got go to the Lions. The Lions have the 24th rated schedule. So that's one of the easier ones. You have to really like the Lions. Dan Campbell's changed it all. He's changed that culture. Goff going to be consistent. He had some great moments. Played well versus the Vikes last year. You got Gibbs at running back. You got Williams at wide receiver after the 6-game suspension. That's going to help. Defense has been fortified. Maybe it's been last in total defense last year. They did add Sutton and Gardner Johnson. They were 28th in points allowed. They got Mosley as a DB. My feeling is you can never have enough DBs. So that's always an issue. You can never have enough DBs. Rosie's in the booth. Oh, she wants to get out of the show. I'm going to walk over here. Let her out. Rosie was being shy here on the show today. Rosie being shy on the show. She didn't want to get out. Not editing here, telling like it is. That's why I'm called telling like it is. So again, you can never have enough DBs. That's why I was disappointed that, I know we had to let Dantzler go last year as a Viking fan, and Viking fans are all over him on the site. There's rumors that the Texans might sign him, but if you look at his PFF numbers, Pro Football Focus's ranks versus other people in his position, he wasn't bad. And last year at this time, he was supposed to be the 4th best D-back in the league, good tackler. So, you can never have enough DBs. You can never have enough offensive linemen. By the way, congratulations to Matt Kincalvis here, former player for us at ESM Sharks, captain at University of Pittsburgh. fifth-year senior, already has his undergrad degree, and he's an all ACC performer from last year. So congratulations to Big Matt. Always good to see that. Hard work pays off. It's great to see him out there having such success. And I believe the big weekend kicks off next weekend. This weekend, you got Navy and Notre Dame in Ireland, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But like I said, the Lions with the 24th toughest schedule. The other division we play is the AFC West. Tough division. Again, you got to find a way maybe to get the Raiders and the Broncos there. Broncos are going to be difficult. I think Sean Payton's going to be so creative. It's going to be scary. I think this team's going to sneak up on some people. He had some good pieces back on defense too. So I don't know. Sean is so creative. He's such a great coach. We'll see what happens. But like I said, the Lions did add some good things. You can see the Lions definitely stepping up. But like we said, last in total defense, 28th in points allowed. That's a theme in this division, though. 3 of the teams this year had bad defenses in this division. You go with the Packers. Packers have the 30th toughest schedule. That's really going to benefit them. Love guys, big shoes to fill. And as a Viking fan, I don't drink, but I might drink in the first week just because the Packers have just been loaded since 1992 at quarterback. And as a Viking fan, and 31 years later, it's nice to have a guy who's might be mere mortal for a while. So I think the Packers had enough love. We'd like them to go back to where they were before 1992 with the scrubs of the division from the 70s to the 80s. We'd like to keep them there for a 20-year period. They just flat out sucked in the division, and we'd like them to go back to sucking as Viking fans. So Love's got big shoes to fill. Running backs James and Dylan, though, and I think that this is going to be the key. I think this coach is definitely going to show how good he is. I find a way to just look at a guy like this, and I believe in him as a coach. I think LaFleur is one of the best coaches in the league. You say, well, he had Aaron Rodgers, yeah, but they never went out and spent big in free agency, and this guy keeps winning. I think he's going to manage the tempo. I think he's probably excited as hell. I think he's motivated more than ever before. Watson, a good receiver, but had a little bit of the drops. Defense, they got very good defense, best defense in the division. They got Clark and Alexander leading it, by the way. But I just think that this team is going to be tougher than people think. You just have to hope that Love makes a couple of mistakes. But I just really think between Jones and Dillon, if LaFleur is patient enough and he does love the run, I think he's going to manage this game, make Love into a game manager until he's comfortable. And I think that the Packers are probably a bigger threat than people realize. Like I said, it's just great not to have a stud behind center right now. In some ways, that could hurt us as Viking fans because this coach might have more control than he's had in the past, trying to harness a guy like Rodgers, and maybe he's going to get more of what he wants. Remember, this man went 13-3 his first 3 years. Last year, they struggled a little bit, but a great coach. I feel like the Packers are going to be a real tough bargain here for us going forward. Bears, there's not much you can say. I love Fields, one of my favorite players in the NFL, even though he's on the enemy sideline. You got Moore, Mooney, and Claypool, maybe. We got some questionables there. Defense was awful. We know that. They did shore up a couple of things. They did get field some weapons, though. And the Bears, again, you just never know. The Bears, it's funny right now. Bears have been such a great organization for defense, and it's just awful right now. But I think with Fields, being the most unpredictable quarterback in the division, he could definitely win a game by himself. I feel like, he's a guy that can really hurt you. They have the 26th hardest schedule. So that's going to be interesting for them. And of course, the Vikings have the hardest schedule, 18th. But like I said, the NFC South is going to be the key here. Who handles that NFC South the best? Because we're all going to bump off somebody. I doubt anybody's going 6-0 in our division games. So I really believe it's how you handle the NFC South. The Saints are not going to be easy, but I think you've got to find a way to get to 3-1 or 4-0 out of that and win the division. Vikings obviously have Jefferson, one of the top players in the NFL, if not the top player. We got to make sure we get Hawkinson re-signed here, because why else get him? Addison has been okay, except he's driving too fast. Can Madison replace Cook? I don't know. Cookie, I noticed in the last year, didn't break the first tackle. Cook was a guy the first several years in the league, always broke one tackle. Last year, he lost that. He is a home run hitter. Madison's more of a bruiser, so I wasn't happy we let go of Cook, especially when it basically comes down to $2 million. We lost Kendricks, which just really pissed me off. We had to, though, as tackles had been off. I mean, Hicks is going to have to step up. We did lose so much. I feel like if we had Flores last year as a defensive coordinator, we would have been a serious 13-4 instead of a shadowy 13-4. I just think we had enough talent last year, and that's why I wish we would have held on to some of those defensive people this year, because I think Flores is a big-time coach. So this year we gave away so much talent on defense. We gave away Peterson, all gone. just drives you crazy. And that's, we got Ladarius Smith we let go. I never understood that one. Peterson, who just knows he made some picks, he's still pretty good. Kendricks, obviously, I understood that one, but I wasn't happy about letting go of Peterson because, again, I told you before, you can never have enough D-backs and offensive linemen in this game. It's like pitching in baseball. You just can't have enough. But I'm really excited with Flores. I love that hire. Can he do much with this defense? Hunter we re-signed, but Hunter, his first 20 to 30 games in the NFL was setting records, but since then he's not been the same since the neck injury. Murphy we picked up off the free agency market. That should help us at DB, but I'm a little concerned here. The middle of the field last year was so open. The good news is we can't be any worse than we were last year on defense. With Flores, we won't be, even though our talent on defense is much worse than last year. I feel like Flores will find a way to coach it up and basically get the most out of us. And this is going to be a tight division. And you don't want to be a cop out and say, well, it's going to come down to Vikings, Packers, and Lions when they play each other. And yeah, that's a little bit of a cop out, but it's going to be deadly accurate. And like I said, watch that NFC North record. Who is handling the NFC North best of all four of these teams? And you're going to get a good indicator of who's going to win. But again, Vikings with a lot of turnover. Like I said, I wish we would have picked up Dantzler there. He was just sitting out there. I know he flaked out on us at the end of the year last year. We never really got a great answer on that. And you're always, like I said, afraid of that. But again, can't have enough defensive backs. Got to do it. So now, it's something that we
1,000 miles.
We definitely have to find a way to get better. So that's going to do it for us here. Dave Scholl, tell them like it is, NFC North. Really looking forward to the season kicking off about 2 weeks from tomorrow. Well, Thursday night game, I don't really count. We don't all get to sit there. By the way, hopefully you're not watching the Little League World Series. It's nauseating. Wimbledon does start on Monday. Not Wimbledon, U.S. Open, which we love watching tennis. Even though my boy Fed is retired, it's going to be exciting to watch. I love watching tennis. It's a great situation. I love tennis. Great game. And it's always some fun matches at the Open. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Here today, it's raining. Maybe we get all this rain out of the system so we can just enjoy the tennis, get decent weather to watch. Like I said, going to be a fun division. Looking forward to football season. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, all right, Spotify, so many different places. We got Twitter, we got Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want to do. Give us a shout. Love to have you on. People are usually very camera shy. We can keep you off the camera if you want. Love to have you on, talk some football. We don't really talk about betting because I'm not a gambling man. But at the same time, this is the division from Caesar's Palace that says it's the biggest toss-up, and I have to agree with him. I could see anybody winning here. Probably the Bears the least chance of winning. But I still think it's a Viking and Packer division. Hoping my Vikes come out on top. And we're going to see if we're right. We'll catch you next time. Take care.